Today, presidential candidate Donald Trump is standing by the controversial comments he made about Senator John McCain.
He said the former POW McCain was only a war hero because he was captured, and that he prefers soldiers who aren't captured. Earlier today, Trump spoke out to clarify what he meant when he made those remarks.
I do also respect greatly people that aren't captured. Nobody talks about them. We talk about John McCain, and I think it's great, and he is a very brave man and all of that. But we don't talk about the people that weren't captured, and that's what I was trying to refer to, and I think I did. And by the way, if you see the news conference right afterwards, a few minutes afterwards, everything was perfect. I never even thought this would be an issue. My opponents have brought it up. These are guys that have 0 in the polls.
Nancy Cordes joins us now from Washington. Nancy, Donald Trump this morning is saying that he also called McCain a war hero, and the media is taking him out of context. Does that make any difference to any of his fellow Republicans?
This is the argument that he's been making over the past couple of days, that he was taken out of context. But look, here's what he said. He said that McCain is a war hero because he was captured, implying that somehow had McCain not been captured, he wouldn't be a hero, or that he really didn't do anything to deserve the title of war hero. Regardless of how he said it, how many times he said it, his rivals are pretty unified in saying that it was disrespectful, that it was offensive. The Republican National Committee is saying the same thing. So you aren't seeing very many Republicans rally to his defense on this one.
Nancy, if Donald Trump does not win the nomination, will he throw his support behind other candidates?
He won't say right now, Elaine. He has suggested that perhaps he would run as an independent. That would really make things challenging for the Republican nominee, because if he's even able to siphon off 2 or 3% of the GOP vote, he's going to make it that much more difficult for the Republican nominee to be successful. And right now, in national polls, he's getting 17 or 18% of GOP voters. He is firmly in the lead. So that is why this is such a tricky issue for Republican officials. They want to make it clear that they don't condone the kind of language that he's using, but at the same time, if they alienate him too much, he'll say, okay, well, I'm picking up my toys and going home. I'm going to run as a third-party candidate, and I'll show you.
And Nancy, how much are the attacks by Republicans like Rick Perry, for example, who are struggling to make the debates, how much of this is about that?
You know, I think that a lot of these candidates have figured out that one way to get attention is to attack Donald Trump. So they've kind of done a turnaround. In the beginning, they were really afraid to take him on directly because they didn't want him to train his fire on them. Now they're realizing that the best way to get headlines is to attack him. And there's safety in numbers, too. Now that they're looking to their right and their left and they're seeing that all their fellow opponents are going after him as well, they feel comfortable doing the same thing. And that's why, you know, within 24 hours of Trump making these comments this weekend, you saw just about every Republican presidential candidate, all 16 of them, coming out and saying that they disagreed with him, or, you know, in some of the more sharply worded comments, calling him idiotic, calling the comments offensive. You know, they almost had some fun with it. You could tell that they are now almost enjoying taking Trump on.
All right, Nancy Cordes, thank you so much, Nancy.
Sure thing.